let me go across to Yogendra Yadav. And Yogendra, as we've been pointing out, Vajubhai Wala, the governor, holds the key now to what happens next in this story, which has many twists and turns. Already there are reports coming in, and we have no confirmation on there is a degree of unhappiness in some parts of the Congress party. Some MLAs, the Lingayat MLAs, may be unhappy with the Congress party's decision to truck with the JDS. But until all of that plays out, I want to also bring up a tweet that I think it's a great one that's coming from the Tourism Ministry of Kerala. And what a way to sort of take forward the conversation that we've been having on the possibility of resort politics, which now seems very, very alive. But Yogendra, I want to get your comments on how you see this playing out now.
I love that tweet. I think this is the best tweet of the day. And I said somewhere that in the morning, suitcases were opened, EVM came out. From that came out the outcome and the verdict. And by the evening, the verdict has gone back to suitcases. And we should be tracking suitcases now for the next 1 week or so. That, unfortunately, is the reality. But on a more serious note, let's try and see what this verdict is about. There is no mandate. And there's no mandate not just because no party has a clear majority. Just look at it. BJP has added seats, is the largest single party, but has its vote share is about 6 lakh less than the Congress. Congress party has the highest vote share, but has lost so many seats, is clearly a loser. And Janata Dal S, which has added, which has stayed, has performed very well, has actually lost votes. So in this situation, it's only fair to say that there is no mandate for any party. And while there is a certain political victory, I wouldn't call it moral, there's a political victory for BJP, more like a point victory rather than a knockout. There is a defeat for the Congress. In the case of Congress, it had everything going. It had a chief minister with some social base. He was pitted against a chief ministerial candidate who is, let's say, politely tainted. The BJP was more of a divided house than anywhere else. And there was no visible anti-incumbency. If Congress cannot retain the state in these conditions, then you don't know whether Congress can retain anything at all. So it is clearly a defeat.
No, but what to your mind has gone wrong, Yogendra? And I want to put that question to each one of you, but let me start by asking you, Yogendra, since you talked about how this is a defeat for the Congress party. What seems to have gone wrong? The hope for the Congress was that they would be able to wrest away some share in the BJP strongholds as well as the JDS strongholds. That hasn't quite played out. There was this hope that the Ahinda consolidation would be in favor of the Congress party, which hasn't quite played out. I was speaking with some of our guests earlier today, and you know, the consensus seemed to be that perhaps there was also the overemphasis on Siddaramaiah. You know, one can argue about empowering local leadership, but maybe this was too much. And maybe, you know, that didn't deliver the goods. I mean, he's barely been able to hold on to one of the 2 constituencies that he fought from. What do you think has gone wrong for the Congress party?
In the wake of a defeat, the easiest thing would be, the temptation is, of course, to say that the captain was wrong, the fielding was wrong, the bowling was wrong, and the batting was wrong. I think we need to focus on something specific. To my mind, the thing is, for the first 4 years, Siddaramaiah was not into election mode at all. He is very active for the last 1 year, but that's only the last 1 year. And how much can you do in the last 1 year? To my mind, trusting a state leader may have been a sensible thing for the Congress to do. They didn't have too many other options. But the question is, were they raising the real big issues of the state? They were not. And the one thing where they seriously underestimated tactically was the effect of a tacit understanding between JD and JDS and BJP. Which very seriously damaged the Congress in South Karnataka. So all these things put together, but the fact is that a defeat is a defeat, and no one in politics can say, oh my God, my opponent was too strong. That's a reality. And the BJP today has the strongest political machine that India has ever witnessed in the last 7 decades. And Congress was no match for it.
Clearly, no match for it in Karnataka. Let me go across to the Congress spokesperson with us. Mohammed, when we were chatting a few days ago, you said that the Congress was very, very confident of being able to retain power in Karnataka. You may still retain power if the governor plays ball and you're able to keep your flock intact and the JDS is able to keep its flock intact. That's a big question mark at this point in time. What has gone wrong for the Congress, Mohammed? Let's hear it from you. And I know that, as a consolation, the Congress will say that, look, we got the highest vote share, better than the BJP, and so on and so forth. But your strategy seems to have fallen apart. Why do you believe that has been the case?
Well, Shireen, you're absolutely right. I will begin by saying that we have the highest vote share. And the reason I would begin by saying that is because it's no
I preempted you. I preempted you, so now you're going
to... You did, of course. And the reason I agree with you and must point out that it's a significant measure and one we keep repeating is because it will have an enormous bearing on the results of 2019. I was listening to Mr. Yogendra Yadav right now. I don't see why he is being so critical. The Congress, it's very, our politics is such that whenever results come out and we look at it in binaries, win, lose, the guy who wins, all sins are forgiven. The guy who loses, my God, let's analyze and scrutinize every one of the mistakes he or she made. The truth is,
that's part of the game, Mohammed.
A fantastic campaign. Of course, and I'm not complaining about that, but I will
if you ran a fantastic campaign, it should have resulted in seats. It should have resulted in you being able to retain your position.
Yes. That's a fair point.
I mean, it's not like
if you allow me to
the efficacy of a campaign is to result in victory, not in defeat.
No, of course.
Precisely,
and I think the performance that our people put up, of course, we feel that, I don't know who's speaking in my ear, I'm saying that the result we put up is, of course, not what we expected. It is not commensurate to the effort we put in. And clearly, there is a need to analyze. The Congress is one of the few parties that actually, instead of trying to make virtues out of necessities, actually goes back, analyzes, evolves, and comes back stronger. Every single election since Gujarat, we have come back stronger. And I will tell you one more thing. Today, look at this. The BJP, which was celebrating a few hours ago, is now petrified. They're running to the governor. They are arguing against a precedent that they set themselves not once but twice.
No. 1 second. I think both sides are equally nervous. I think both sides are equally nervous. But Mohammed, I want to ask you, how confident do you feel about the possibility of ensuring that these numbers stick? 116 at this point in time. You've got the two independents on your side, is what Mr. Shivakumar claims. But how confident do you feel about being able to keep your flock together? Because reports seem to suggest that some of your own MLAs are unhappy with your decision to truck with the JDS.
Right. Well, I will answer that very simply. 3 points. First is, we have the MLAs on our side. We have the law and precedent on our side. No small measure thanks to the BJP's actions in the last 3 elections. And number 3, we are certain, and Shireen, I don't know if you've seen this, there are rumors coming in that Yediyurappa ji is asking the governor to give him 7 days to prove his majority. 7 days to prove your majority or to horse trade. That is why we are urging the governor. We are ready right now. We will provide the letters of support within the next 24 hours. That is the constitutional standard. We are willing to give it to you. Why are you so hesitant to accept it? We are willing to satisfy a floor test tomorrow, but you're not willing to accept. Now, Shireen, you must ask yourself, who stands to benefit from this?
We don't know whether... No, but there's been no decision that the governor has taken, so we don't know whether he accepts your position or not.
But let me... the people of Karnataka.
Let me also go across to the spokesperson of the JDS, Mohammed Altaf. There is clarity on the fact that it is going to be H.D. Kumaraswamy that will be Chief Minister if you get the opportunity to form a government in the state of Karnataka. Explain to us, how long did it take for both sides to put this alliance, to stitch this alliance together?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to say that we've already submitted to the governor, along with the Congress party. Honorable Siddaramaiah ji was there, Ghulam Nabi Azad was there. So we have been to the governor's office and we have submitted the joint majority about JDS and Congress to the governor.
But as has the BJP, as has Mr. Yediyurappa, and Mr. Yediyurappa and the BJP claim that as the single largest party, they should be given the opportunity to form government and prove their majority.
That is the decision left to the governor, whom to invite. So we have already submitted our joint proposal to the governor, along with the majority of Congress and JDS. In fact, our JDLP meeting has been going to be held at 9 p.m. today, as well as the Congress JDLP meeting is going to be held. So we have already submitted to the governor.
How confident do you feel, Mohammed, that you will be invited? And Yatish, I'll come to you in just a second, but how confident do you feel that you will be invited? And if the governor chooses not to invite you, it is his discretion. If he chooses not to invite you, what then?
Are you asking me, Shireen?
No, as a majority...
No.
As a majority of 78
I'll come to you as well. Yes, Altaf.
78 and 38, 116 is the majority what we have been given to the submitted to the governor, honorable governor. So definitely the governor is going to invite us, and the Congress also has given unconditional support to us, and they have offered Shri H.D. Kumaraswamy as the Chief Minister of Karnataka.
Okay. Mohammed, very quickly, if the governor chooses not to invite the JDS and the Congress, what is the strategy then?
Well, the BJP doesn't have the numbers on its side. It's plain and simple. The BJP, as of right now, in fact, if they had the numbers, Shireen, you remember what happened in Goa? They went the same evening with letters of support. If they had the numbers, they wouldn't be asking for a 7-day extension. They don't have the numbers. They know they'll have to resort to some sort of surreptitious and clandestine political practice like horse trading, and we will resist it. This is not the same Congress. This is not the same trusting Congress that assumed they would abide by constitutional procedures. We are wary now. We know what level these people will fall to claw their way into power. Let them bring it. This time, I assure you, we have the numbers. Whether we have to prove it on the floor of the House or we have to prove it before the governor, sooner or later, we are forming this government.